Hello Leo, welcome back to the channel and welcome to your October 2022. Yes, I know October has already started. Typically you guys have your readings before the month starts or on the first of the month. That did not happen this time. So sorry, but here we are. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to be using our singing bowl to clear any lingering energy that does not belong here, does not belong to you. Then we'll be using it to connect to each other as a collective, and then as a collective we will be connecting to spirit through the singing bowl. If you would like to use this time to call on any specific guides, deities, archangels, any beings of light that you would like to be present for this reading, please feel free to do so now. The more, the merrier. So let's go. I hope you guys are enjoying your October so far. And that you all are doing well in life. You're healthy, you're wealthy, you're wise, all of the things. All of the things. Alright guys, let's see what Spirit has for us. Spirit, speak to me and through me to the Leo collective. Please, Leo, all placements. Most accurate and relevant messages for them at this time. What do they need to know? Most accurate and relevant messages for them at this time, please, Leo collective. I guess we will take that and then... Alright, so we have, excuse me, the Fool as your first card out, your current energy. Also, the reason why I've been kind of putting off doing years in Sagittarius, the only two I have left to do, is because I've been busy for one, but also I don't know if it's allergies or what, but I've been sniffling, sneezing, my eyes, like I think it's allergies. I've never experienced it before. But I've been sneezing uncontrollably and it's bizarre. So I was hoping that it would go away because I really don't like sniffling. Like, it grosses me out. So I don't want you guys to have to listen to it. But I don't want to put this off anymore. The opportunity presented itself for me to get some work done. So I'm taking it. So I apologize in advance for the sniffling and for the sick sounds. So... Alright, oh my god, why so many swords, guys? Oh my god, there's even more. Okay. Let me shift this way just a titch so we can get everything in view. There we go. Okay, 2 more cards. Interesting, okay. So the first card that we have showing up here for you guys as your current energy, the Fool, you're at the very beginning of a journey, very beginning stages of a new path that you're on, a new plan, a new job maybe, or you're contemplating starting something new. But this is having a leap of faith, taking a leap of faith, and having faith, I guess, that the universe will catch you when you decide to quit a job and start your own business, when you decide to move across the country, when you decide to whatever big thing that it is that might scare you, but you do it anyways. This is the energy that you're in right now. You're very much taking those leaps and you're trusting in the universe to guide you and to lead you and to catch you as you go through this process, as you go through this journey. But you are in the very beginning stages, or you are contemplating leaving a job, starting something new, leaving a relationship, starting something new. There's definitely an energy of leaving something to move on to something new. It's like the energy of, something is kind of wrapping up. It's a cycle that might be ending. And it's like, okay, so now that this is ending, what's next? What are my next steps going to be? You could be asking the universe that directly. What now? What do I do now? Please guide me. Please direct me. Please show me which way I need to go. So it's kind of like you're just putting all faith into the universe to lead you which direction you should go. I like this. I love Fool energy because it's just so open and it's ready. It's like, I'm ready to do whatever it takes. I'm ready to start on this new journey. What's crossing you? The Page of Swords. Communication could be an issue for you right now. Maybe you're waiting for someone to reach out to you to maybe even apologize. But that's not happening. And it could be what is kind of sparking this. Okay, this might be the end. This might be the final chapter for this job, for this relationship, for this situation, this friendship even. And so as you're not receiving the communication that maybe you expected or that you had hoped for, it's kind of making you think about your next steps. Okay, what if this never comes? Then what? What if this never gets mended? What if this never moves forward? If this is really the end, what next? In your recent past, you were called to make a decision, a pretty big crossroads. I feel like maybe you chose one path. It feels like maybe you went against like your gut or the guidance that the universe was giving you, and you chose this other path because it was the most logical, it made the most sense, someone really needed you, whatever the case may be. You decided to take one path over the other, and maybe that's what led you to now this starting over point. Maybe you saw that road all the way through. Okay, well, that was a dead end. Now it's time to start over, to choose a different path, to move a different direction. But you were definitely called to make a decision. Whether you made that decision or not, I can't really say. It feels like you did, and it feels like you made the decision that kind of went against your instincts. So that could also be why now you're in this Fool energy where you're like, okay, universe, I'm going to trust you completely. I'm turning this over to you. I tried to do it myself. I tried to do it logically. I tried to do it whatever. And it didn't work out for me. So now I'm starting over, but I'm doing it in a different way this time. I'm doing it more openly, more trusting, and more intuitively. In the near future, you have the King of Swords. So I feel like you could be... Sorry, I keep hearing like cars pulling in the driveway. I really need to blow my nose, but I don't want to on camera. It's so gross. Okay. King of Swords in your near future. This is an energy that you're moving into as you transition out of this Fool energy. I feel like you're going to be using more logic, putting more thought into things. Maybe not so much before you speak. These people tend to be like really quick with their tongue. They don't necessarily think before they speak. Their words can be very harsh. They can be very cutting, very cut and dry, which is interesting because when you think about the air signs in your life, the Libras, the Geminis, not so much Aquarius, they're pretty decisive. Libras, not so much. They tend to flip-flop. They tend to say things and then not necessarily follow through, or say things and then change their mind. So it's like, from my experience anyways, and I have experience. I was raised by a Libra, and I have been with one for 10 years, in a partnership with one for 10 years, and have a child with one. So I have a little bit of experience. In my experience, it's always best when dealing with them to not necessarily take their word as bond. Like, that sounds really shitty to say, but when they say they're going to do something, I wouldn't put money on it until they're actually actively doing it, if that makes sense. Not that they say things and they don't end up doing it, it's just that they change their mind a lot. I could see you, all that to say, this card typically means very decisive, very discerning, very objective even, not emotional. There is no emotion involved in their decision-making process. It is what is most logical. It is what is most reasonable and practical. And that is how they make decisions. I can see this for you moving forward, coming from a more intellectual headspace versus like following your heart, following your passion, following your intuition, which is interesting because I feel like you just came from that thought process. You just came from doing things that way, right? So I thought we were doing things differently. I thought we were trying something new, and maybe you are. Maybe this is you trying something new. Maybe you've always followed your gut and just let the universe guide you, and instead this time you're doing the opposite. You're following your head and not so much your heart, which, I mean, I don't know if that's the answer. I don't have the answers for everybody all the time in all situations. Everybody is different. Every situation is different. But I feel like for you guys, right or wrong, indifferent, you're going to be moving into a more King of Swords, very decisive, very cut and dry. This is the final decision. This is what I'm going to do. And more intellectual. This could be even you changing careers from a more passionate career, something that you really love doing, but maybe there wasn't enough money to support your family. There wasn't enough this, there wasn't enough that. So now you're moving into maybe something that is a little bit more mundane, a little bit more routine, but it will bring you more stability, I feel, is what this is. I feel like this is you seeking more stability and more clarity, honestly, because maybe you felt a little bit confused. You felt like you haven't really been making the best decisions, so you're trying to tap more into your intellectual side and see where that leads you, which, I mean, I don't hate it. What you're thinking about a lot right now, what's in your mind space, the Seven of Swords, there could have recently been a deception that took place. Excuse me. Okay. Give me a second. I'm going to blow my nose real quick. Just give me a second. And a sip of water. Okay. This, I'm getting... I really don't know how to say this without upsetting anybody, but it's just what it is. I feel like you're spending a lot of time thinking about this because it's your lies. It's your kind of web of deceit that you've weaved for whatever reason. I mean, we all choose how we interact with people. I don't know, whatever. But I feel like you're having to navigate these lies very carefully, because it's one of those things like when you lie, you have to remember each lie that you told each person, so you don't mix up your lies, so you don't, oh, I didn't mean to say that. You know what I mean? Like, you have to think about it a lot, and I feel like you're putting a lot of thought into it because you've kind of woven yourself quite a big lie. It's interesting because I've never really gotten that from this card. Typically, it's people deceiving you and lying to you, and it absolutely could be. That could be what this is. But for you guys at this time, I feel like you might be the ones manipulating a little bit. You might be the ones telling little white lies to not hurt anybody's feelings or to make yourself look better. I don't know the reasons, whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. But that's what's in your mind space. And I will say, if that is how you are operating, I don't see it lasting very long. I don't see you being able to keep this up long term, even though it feels like you already have been. Maybe this is something like a compulsion. there is such a thing as compulsive liars. It's just I don't know if they can't help it, or if it's just they're so used to it, they exaggerate to make themselves look better. I don't honestly know the reason. Again, it doesn't matter to me, but I don't think for you guys specifically, this is something that you should keep doing. I mean, for anybody, I don't think that lying is the way to go, because eventually we all know that it catches up to us. The only way out of it without it catching up to us is if we break things off and never communicate with these people again. I don't know if that's the sort of life you want to live. If it's not, then maybe start kind of unwinding these things and kind of coming clean, clearing your conscience, and moving forward in a more honest and more truthful manner. So you don't have to think about lies all the time. Like, nobody wants to think about that, right? And also, I've always been under the, not necessarily impression, but I've kind of always navigated my life in a way that if you lie to people, you will get lied to. It doesn't, not necessarily by the same person that you're lying to, but it could be someone that you care a lot about, that you would be devastated if they lied to you about something, but then here you are lying about things. So it's like, you can't really be hurt when those things come back to you, because they will always come back to you. If you are telling lies, if you are out there telling untruths, someone is surely in your life, someone is lying to you as well. So it's an interesting thing that when you kind of catch yourself wanting to tell a lie, maybe just think it through and be like, how would I feel if the person I loved the most, the person I respected the most, whatever person was lying to me? And then maybe just tell the truth. I don't know. What is in your subconscious, though? This is your energy. This is you, Leo energy, the sun, the most opulent, prosperous, vital card in the entire deck, the most positive card in the entire deck. That is you. As a person, you exude this energy. You are very loving and bright and warm and sunshiny. That is what is in you subconsciously. So that means to me, you don't even need to forget all of this. Focus on tapping into this, tapping into your subconscious and reprogramming your brain, because most of us need like subconscious reprogramming. We have things that are really deeply wired in us that we have to subconsciously reprogram. For you, it's kind of the opposite. Your subconscious is good. Your insides are good. You need to kind of rewire your thought process and your thinking brain to match this, right? Maybe your default is to be sunny and positive and bright, but you've experienced over time that when you are that person, people take advantage of you, or they drain you of that energy. They see that and like, oh, I want that. They latch onto you and just drain you from it. So you've kind of built this false world around yourself to protect yourself. But it's also taking you further and further away from your true core, who you are at the core. And this is who you are at your core. You are sunshine. You are bright, light, beautiful, warm, welcoming. Don't change that because people take advantage. Just change the people that you're around. Be a little bit more discerning with this energy and who you engage with. Maybe make your circle a little bit smaller. Don't communicate with people who you feel you need to lie to or who are lying to you, being dishonest, even stabbing you in the back kind of energy. Just kind of disengage. And I know that's hard to say, especially if it's family, but again, from experience, sometimes it's necessary for your own preservation. Self-preservation is real. You don't have to sacrifice who you are, what you believe, any of those things, your happiness for anybody else, parents included. Parents included. Okay. Advice from Spirit for you all. You're not as stuck and hopeless as you may think you are, feel you are, as it may seem. You could feel like you're stuck in maybe a relationship, a situation where Could be like your finances are tied to this person. You are like living in a house with them. They pay some of the rent. So it's like unwinding all of that might be a little bit painful, but it's not as permanent. You're not as stuck as you think you are, is what I'm getting from this. You may feel like there is no way out. You may feel like you're trapped. You may feel all of these things. But I think upon further examination, did I already say examination? I think I did. You will see that there is a way out, and it's not as strenuous, it's not as arduous as you may think. Okay, so maybe just explore all the exits, right? There is a way to exit situations with ease and grace, and if you call on spirit, the universe, your guides, whoever, whatever, please lead me through this situation with ease and grace. Please help me navigate this situation. Help me navigate an exit from this situation with ease and grace, causing the least harm possible to all parties involved, kind of thing. That's how I would go about it if I was feeling stuck. That's how I have gone about it when I felt stuck, and the answers typically come to you just kind of in like an aha moment where you're like, oh shit, that is a brilliant idea. That's an option. And then just like that, your way out is paved for you. And I'm using this as an example. It's a very specific example. I know that not all of you are going to be in situations like this, but apply it to your situation as you will. All right, energies around you. Scorpio energy, death. This could be literal. You've experienced people in your sphere. They don't have to be people close to you. It could be coworkers. It could be people from high school, acquaintances, whatever, passing. But you are getting lots of indications of death. And if it's not physical death, it is situations coming to an end. This could be long-term relationships. Your parents could be getting a divorce. Your sibling who has been married for 20 years, whatever the situation may be. But there are lots of things ending. It doesn't necessarily have to be physical life, although it can be. But you're just seeing lots of evidence and receiving word from people that things are ending. Which, for you, especially because there is a full moon tomorrow, I'm recording this on October 8th, the full moon. So we're in that 24-hour, I think it's 2 days prior and 2 days after you have kind of this full moon energy that you can tap into. Excuse me. With full moons, we are presented the opportunity to let go, to release, to put an end to. So tap into this energy with this full moon. Identify any limiting beliefs that you may still have that could be holding you back, whether that's around money, whether that's around love, whether that's around family, whatever it is you feel like you can't have for whatever reason, this narrative that you have. Use these next few days to release that and tap into this kind of death energy and end these cycles for yourself. Hopes and fears. Again, this to me indicates that you're hoping that you can leave a situation with ease and grace. Walk away from something that doesn't feel suited for you anymore. It could have been your wish, like literally a wish for you at one point, but now it's kind of, I've outgrown this, I've expanded beyond this, and my tastes are no longer this. So it's time for me to recognize that, and it's time for me to seek new situations. Again, leaving things behind with ease and grace. This person is walking away from literally everything that they've built, everything that they've kind of ever wished for. And again, once was like their favorite thing in the entire world, but now it's like they've lost their taste for it. So they're leaving it behind to find their new dream, their new wish, their new goal. And it's not like, oh, I'm done with you, I'm going to throw you away. Like, you've fulfilled your purpose. Meh, we're done here. It's not that at all. It's that every person we come into contact with, every relationship, every job, every situation has a cycle, has a purpose. And once it served that purpose, we have to let it go, or it just kind of it holds us back, honestly. So if you're in that situation where you feel like it's time to go, again, ask Spirit to lead you. Please take my hand and lead me out of this situation with ease and grace. Help me through this transition. Help whoever else is involved in this transition, so we all come out better people. Your end result, your outcome for this is the Hierophant. This is someone who is very structured. This could also indicate a marriage, if that is your ultimate goal. I do see it happening. This is very traditional ways of thinking, ways of being, ways of operating, schools, governments, just really old structures. But it typically indicates marriage. So if that is something that you're working towards, maybe that's why you're wanting to leave your current situation. You're wanting to, maybe it's not ever going to lead to the marriage that you want, the happy ending that you want, and you know that. So you know it's time to close this cycle out, but you might be struggling with how to do it without hurting anybody, without hurting anybody. So you can move towards an actual marriage. Maybe this person doesn't ever want to get married and they've told you that. Maybe they're not ever planning on proposing and they've told you that. And you want to be married. You want to have a family. You want to have all these things that maybe they're just not willing to offer. So it's time to move on, I feel like, because what you want is waiting for you. The sooner you release it, the sooner you will achieve this. Alright, let's get one more card. Sorry, not one more card. Let's get an oracle card. There we go. Intuition. Card number 23. And then let's do a spirit animal. Alright, now one more card. Spirit animal deck. Additional messages for Leo, please, Spirit. What else is here for them? I have to sneeze. One spirit animal card for Leo, please. There we go. Scorpion. Okay, those were all fire cards that I just had, like cheetah, fire ant, I don't know, all the fire cards. Which makes sense. Alright, what is this from? Shawan. So Shawan and spirit animal. Alright, let's start with our intuition card. Card number 23. Intuition, feeling, inner sight, visualization. Intuition is one of your superpowers that you came into this life with to help you navigate the human experience. Intuition is something that you feel rather than think or see and cannot be perceived with rational mind. Within those feelings, you will find answers for everything from what to eat to whether you should go on that date to who you can trust. Your intuition is always on 100%, offering you wisdom and guidance in the form of how you feel. You're being asked to develop your second sight further when you're holding the intuition card. You must learn to navigate the world through your spiritual GPS rather than relying on your rational mind to show you the way. The ego plays an important role, but should be guided by your intuition, the higher self. The ego and your intuition should work together to help you approach life through both logic and feeling. There is nothing in this life that can be accomplished with one or the other. Your intuition is your driver. Your ego is the car. Both are needed to get to your destination. Yes, and we got this. I got that in the beginning with the energy we had. Follow your intuition. So if you find yourself being more King of Swords than King of Wands, or even King of Water Cups, whatever you want to call it, I would just say call back your intuition, tap back into it. Definitely practice asking your intuition, asking for guidance. I've been saying that this whole reading. Speak to spirit, ask spirit for guidance. All right, Scorpion, passionate, competitive, tends towards isolation. Okay, the Scorpion is a passionate and determined creature. Their career is very important to them, as are a few select friends. That's what I said. Keep your circle small. If it feels like it's, I'm not going to say too big, but I really do think that you guys need to examine who's in your circle. Maybe that's where you start with your intuition test. Ask your intuition, who can I trust? Who in my circle do I need to release? Sometimes the Scorpion's heat festers and they focus on the unresolved event from the past, usually a situation where they were left feeling burned. The Scorpion card says it's time to come clean about your feelings so everyone can heal and you can get back to your usual fiery but fun self. When in balance, wild and free, fierce. When out of balance, jealous, resentful, unresolved. To bring into balance, honesty and forgiveness. Yes, I feel like that was a pretty good, on point. Those messages both played into what we were talking about, so I will take it. I am going to leave it at that. We're getting a little bit long-winded here. So I will let you guys get back to your day. I love you all so very, very much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for those of you who share energy with me, tip, order personal readings, Reiki energy healing. All of the information on how to do all of those things is in the description box below, and just know that it is endlessly reciprocated and appreciated. All right, I love you guys so very much. Enjoy the rest of your October. Bye.